Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 31, the finale of albums that are 50 years old in 2022. We've been looking back all month at the great year that was 1972, celebrating their 50th birthdays, the 50th anniversary of so many great albums. All month long, I picked out my favorite releases from this year. Today, we're at the finale, and as I kind of said at the beginning of the month and all throughout, as we're getting later in the month are when my absolute favorites are going to be coming out. So you saw yesterday, Black Sabbath Volume 4, right? Throughout much of the month, that was actually sitting on my number one, would have been my final pick. But about a week ago, I decided to change it in favor of what was my number two. There's a good reason why, because what is now my number one is one of those bands, and we've seen a handful of them this month, that had two great album releases in 1972. And both of these are of such high magnitude that together they're kind of unbeatable in my opinion. So the first of which was released March 25th of 1972 for Purple Records, produced by the band, engineered by Mr. Martin Birch. Of course, I'm talking about Deep Purple, Machine Head, their sixth studio album, the album that many people consider their greatest studio album of all time. It's up there for me. I wouldn't say it's my number one is In Rock, as many of you know who've been following me for quite a while. But this is definitely, if it's not the number two, it's number three. And what an album it is. Contains so many classic Deep Purple songs. Of course, you've got Ritchie Blackmore on guitar, John Lord on Hammond organ, Ian Gillan on vocals, Roger Glover on bass, and none other than the guy who's been there from day one, still to this day, Mr. Ian Pace on drums. I mean, it's hard to argue this album when it comes to Deep Purple and the greatness that has always been Deep Purple, and especially their classic Mark II era, right? I mean, come on, Highway Star. Right on this album alone, you've got Highway Star, Smoke on the Water, Lazy, and Space Truckin'. So 4 of the 7 songs are drop-dead Deep Purple classics. But it's the deep cuts that make this album so great. Maybe I'm a Leo, bluesy, heavy, chugging, Pictures of Home, boom, 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 just amazing. A great song, great Blackmore guitar playing, and of course, Never Before, another good chugging, heavy, bluesy hard rocker, right? Just amazing stuff, amazing stuff. Again, not my favorite Deep Purple album of all time, but it's up there. And it's so well produced and just so legendary. I always love the album cover, too. That's kind of classic. Get the really hazy, fuzzy picture of the band, right? Got the Fender Jazz bass on the back, right? Pretty neat stuff. It's just, again, this is an album we've talked about so many times over the years, and so really, I think everybody knows it fairly well. But the reason, if it was just that going up against Volume 4, I probably would have stuck with Volume 4. But here's the kicker, because not only did that album get released in 1972, but we also got December 8th of that year on the same label, also produced by the band, one of the great live albums of all time, Made in Japan, right? So when you put Made in Japan and Machine Head next to each other, include them together, how do you beat that? You don't. Close to the Edge, Foxtrot, Volume 4, Gentle Giants. I mean, they're all fantastic. I love them all to death. But man, Made in Japan and Machine Head, and this is the remastered CD edition, which has the extra tracks. I'll get into that in a second. But this was recorded, of course, at the Festival Hall, Osaka, Japan, 15th and 16th of August of 1972. There's also stuff from the Nippon Budokan on the 17th of August. So what they did was Deep Purple played that whole weekend in Japan. And they took the best of all of the recordings from those couple of concerts and put them together here. This has later been re-released, and I have that as well, where you have all the recording, the entire concerts in Japan from those couple of days. That is also available. If you don't have it already, you need it, because that basically gives you every show, all the tracks, and that's kind of where everything for this album was taken from. There you have all of them, and it's all great, right? But you listen. If for those of you who have lived with this album as long as I have, like every second of every song on this entire album. So when you go and listen to the complete Japan concerts, right? You know exactly which versions of the songs were put on this, right? Same thing with the whole, Made in Europe thing for me, and the last concerts in Paris. I'm a Deep Purple nut, so of course, I know these albums front to back, back to front, and it's always kind of cool when you hear the official live albums, which were pieced together from songs from a bunch of concerts, and then when you hear all the concerts, you know exactly which ones are the ones that made the official album. Anyway, so again, this is the same lineup, right? Obviously, you got Highway Star kicking things off. To me, the definitive version of Highway Star. You've got Child in Time, and Highway Star is from Osaka on the 16th of August, as is Child in Time. Child in Time, one of my favorite songs of all time. And what's really great about being a Purple fan and loving Child in Time as much is like you have the amazing version that's on In Rock, which has just a face-melting extended guitar solo from Ritchie Blackmore. And then on this album, there's another face-melting, amazing guitar solo from Ritchie Blackmore that's completely different. And throughout my life of loving this band and this song, I have never been able to really say one way or the other which one I like more, because they're both so different and so just absolutely amazing. It's just incredible. And Ian Gillan sounds wonderful on this version. Then you've got Smoke on the Water from Osaka on the 15th of August. You've got The Mule with a great drum solo from Ian Pace from Tokyo on the 17th. So again, this is just over a couple days, right? All these landmark performances. Over on side 3 of the LP, Strange Kind of Woman from Osaka on the 16th. Lazy from Tokyo on the 17th. And then side 4 is all one lengthy track. You've got Space Truckin', all nearly 20 minutes of it, which was taken from the 16th of August in Osaka, Japan. And then, of course, if you get the this reissue, all right, you get on the second disc, you get the encores, which were not included on the regular album, comprised of Black Knight, which is killer, and I really wish that was part of the regular album. That would have been amazing. Speed King, which is also amazing, and I really wish that was part of the regular album as well. And a cover version of Lucille. I can do away with Lucille. I have no reason to listen to that. I mean, it's good for what it is, but for me, throw Black Knight and Speed King onto the regular double album. Maybe you had to make it a triple. Who cares, right? That would have been fine with me. But as it is to me, this remastered edition with those extra tracks, the encores, this is the definitive version of Made in Japan for me. And it just kind of takes it. It was always great, but this kind of takes it over the top. Whatever with Lucille, but Speed King and Black Knight added to the rest of it doesn't get any better. Doesn't get any better. So there you have it. There's no way this couldn't be at number one. Tied, all right? You get 2 for 1 here today. So my favorite, my number one, the last day of the month, the 31st, looking back on 72, it's all Machine Head. It's all Made in Japan. It's all Deep Purple. So let us know in the comments below what you think of these 2 albums and also what your last pick is for the month here on the 31st. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We got a bonus episode coming up where I'm going to give you all of my honorable mentions. So that'll be coming up right after this episode. So thanks for watching. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube together all the damn time. And coming up tomorrow, we move into 1982, right? We're going to go 10 years up, 40th anniversary of another great year in music, 1982. So I will be giving you my 28 favorite albums from 1982, one each day. Rinse, repeat. We're kind of doing the same exercise, just picking from a different batch of albums. So please get your list together and get ready to start giving me one pick each day, just like I do. And it'll be fun. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you real soon here on the channel. I'm Pete Pardo. Take care. Bye-bye.